Okay, bro, welcome back to the new video. So today we are going to discuss what are fair value gaps. Okay, so as you can see, every single weekend, because we don't trade on weekends, right? Every single weekend we take a look at different ICT confluences. So today we are going to discuss fair value gaps. And in the previous video, we were discussing order blocks. Okay, so stay tuned, pay attention because fair value gaps are amazing. They are easy to understand and I often trade based on fair value gaps. Okay, so let's go together through the topic. So what are fair value gaps? Basically, for fair value gaps, you need to take a look at three candle pattern. Okay, so here we have three candles, and what do we have to do to identify fair value gap? Is basically take a look at the place where the first candle lower wick, for example. So this is the lower wick. Okay, when the lower wick doesn't overlap with the third candle higher wick. Okay, and when they don't overlap each other, we have a fair value gap. Okay, this is a bearish fair value gap, for example, and the same thing also happens in a bullish scenario. For example, when we have three candles where the first candle's higher wick doesn't overlap with the third candle lower wick, then we have a so-called fair value gap, as you can see right now here. Okay, so this is a bullish fair value gap. Okay, so why are fair value gaps important? They are important because, for example, what does this tell us? Fair value gap actually tells us that the price moved down so quickly. Okay, the price moved down so quickly that there was no trading involved over here within that gap. Okay, and here the same thing, price moved up so quickly in this scenario that people couldn't trade fast enough here within that fair value gap. Okay, this is why fair value gaps got created. So what will the price do? The price will then more often than not come back into the fair value gap so that people can also trade here in that fair value gap, and then the price will continue in the direction that it wanted. Okay, and here it's going to be the same. The price will come down into the fair value gap, people are going to trade here a little bit, and then the price will continue higher and higher and higher. Okay, so we basically, in order to identify fair value gaps, what do we need to do? We have three candles. The colors of the candles don't matter. You can have green, red, in my scenario white, black, Asian, whatever. Okay, it doesn't matter. But what matters is that we have this little gap in between that we can feel with our dick, which is the price. Okay. Okay, good. So now let's go to the charts. First, I'm gonna turn off my indicators, and now I want to show you how to find the fair value gaps literally on every single time frame. Okay, for example, here we have Bitcoin, and what do we have right now here? For example, we have one candle. Wait, let me zoom it a little bit inside. What do we have here? We have first candle lower wick, then we have one candle that is like big one, and then we have third candle higher wick, and they don't overlap each other, you see. So I connect, wait, let me draw you like this actually. So here we have one wick, and here we have the third wick. Okay, and what do we have in between? The fair value gap. Okay, now what do we have here? For example, here we have also one wick, okay, lower wick, then we have a higher wick. You see they don't overlap each other. So what do we have? We have a fair value gap. Okay, it's that simple. What do we have here? Lower wick, higher wick. Okay, they don't overlap each other, so we have a fair value gap. And you can see here the price came into the fair value gap and then continued lower and lower and lower and lower. Okay, what do we have here? For example, we have one wick, we have the third wick. Okay, and then we have a fair value gap in the middle. What does the price do? The price comes into the fair value gap and then continues higher. Okay, Then what do we have here? Look how many fair value gaps we have here, stacked one next to each other. Fair value gap. A little tiny fair value gap. What do we have here? Fair value gap. Fair value gap. You see, they are everywhere. Okay, for example, what do we have here? We have 1 week, we have the third week, and then we drag it, we have a fair value gap. You see the price comes into the fair value gap and continues higher and higher and higher. Okay, the same thing is here. We have 1 week, third week, we drag it. Okay, it doesn't touch it. What do we have here? First week, third week, we drag it, the price comes into the fair value gap and then continues lower. Okay, it's that simple. Let's go to 4-hour chart. Perfect. Let's zoom a little bit. We have first week, we have third week, they don't overlap each other, you see. So we draw a fair value gap, the price comes into the fair value gap and then continues higher. Okay, look, they are everywhere, bro. They are everywhere. I think you realized it. Okay, so what do we have here? 1 week, third week, we drag it, the price comes into the fair value gap and then continues lower. Okay, it's that simple. What do we have here? A fair value gap. Okay, the price doesn't come into the fair value gap, but it continues lower. Okay, it's that simple. They are everywhere. Now, of course, since you already see the fair value gaps, okay, I want to show you one indicator which is called fair value gaps by Lux Algo, this one, and you can apply this one to your chart and you will see that it automatically draws all of the fair value gaps for you. Okay, so let's go here to the settings. The threshold you can keep on 0 because the threshold actually doesn't matter, because every single fair value gap is important. Okay, so that's basically it. You know, this indicator shows you the fair value gaps and then you can see they are everywhere. They are everywhere. You see the price came here into the fair value gap, continued lower. The price came here into the fair value gap, continued lower. Okay, and then again it touched it, continued lower. Okay, so now we are touching this fair value gap. Let's see what happens. Okay, fair value gap, fair value gap, fair value gap, fair value gap. You see they are everywhere, man, everywhere. Fair value gaps. You see, let's go to daily chart. Let's remove the indicator. Let's identify them together. Fair value gap, price comes into the fair value gap, continues lower and lower and lower. Okay, what do we have here? A fair value gap. Okay, the price didn't come into it. I mean, it came but it closed it. Okay, so there, that's why it came probably into this fair value gap. You see, it touched it and continued higher. Okay, it's that simple. What do we have here? A fair value gap, the price comes into the fair value gap and continues lower. Okay, if we turn on the indicator, you can see how fair value gaps are. You see here, for example, as well. What do we have here? We have the first candle, the second candle, the third candle. Okay, the first candle and the third candle don't overlap each other, so this is a fair value gap. The price comes into the fair value gap and continues lower. Okay, so this indicator is very useful, but of course you have to also know how to identify them by yourself. Okay, now at this point I invite you also to join my Discord server. Okay, we are finished with the lesson, and here you can see that I have daily analysis for basically indexes and crypto. We have trading breakdowns. Okay, here you can post your own trades. We have public chat. We also have self-improvement content, because my mission is to become better trader and stronger man. So basically making money with trading and being better man with self-improvement. So if you identify with this movement, if you like it, then bro, Feel free to join, do the hard work, and see you on top of the world.